as promised, I am here. So there's been a bit of a technical wizardry this morning. Hence, I'm on these old school non-Wi-Fi earpods. But I'm hoping that you can hear me all right. Please give me a thumbs up if you can hear me okay. I'm going to hang out just to give people a chance to get on. So yeah, today I am here to do the bonus yoga myth busters sesh. Hey, if you're here, I would love for you to make comment and for you to just participate and let me know your questions and stuff. The reason that I'm here, sounds like some little teeny weeny dogs are having a bit of trouble outside. So we're inside having a lovely time. Just giving people a chance to get on. And we're here, today's session is a yoga myth busters. And the reason why I thought this bonus was a good idea, this is a bonus coaching session. So feel free to pipe up with any challenges that you're having, particularly around burnout or workaholism or running your own business or being a wellness professional or a practitioner, and just getting to maxed out capacity. So really the last 18 months has been a bit bonkers, hasn't it, really, when it comes to having lots to contend with. So today I'm helping to bust the 7 myths, the 7 main myths in the barriers that I've come into contact with people experiencing to stop them practicing yoga or meditation. Number 1 is, and I'd love to hear your questions, so I will respond to your questions as you put them up, but I'm going to go through the 7 because I've got those prepped. And they're the most common myths that I've heard. So number 1 is, I'm not flexible, so I can't do yoga. And that is one of my favourites because it's completely back to front. How would anyone expect to be flexible and to be sort of bendy if they're not doing a practice that facilitates their flexibility and movement and ease of movement, right? So doing yoga is not something that people do, much to the magazines would have us believe otherwise, but it's not to make us slim, attractive, Instagram-worthy yogis. Yoga is about moving with what you can do right now, breathing into your boundaries and wherever they're at, and over time earning the trust of your body. So your body begins to open up as you relax. So you're tapping into the body's natural ability to relax, your parasympathetic nervous system. Think of it like a parachute. And as you train that ability to tap into your body's natural relaxation capacity, the more you do that, the better you get at it. It's like any training. And so your boundaries then expand. And so where your flexibility and range of movement might be really limited at the beginning, with dedication, with little and often, with practice makes perfect, you're going to reach that perfection moment to moment, right? So you're going to be playing with those boundaries, figuring out where they are and letting them gradually expand over time. And so don't worry if you're not flexible now, because regular practice, you will see results, regardless of whether that means you'll be able to bend your leg around the back of your head. A lot of people don't really need to be doing that. And so it's just meeting yourself where you're at and take yourself where you're going, what suits you and your practice and your goals, but also your self-love of your own body and wherever you're at. It's just perfect for now. Why would you be incredible at bending your leg around the back of your head if you haven't been practicing that for a long time? Plus, some people are born more flexible. People have relaxin in their blood when they're pregnant and they become more flexible. Some people just naturally have an ability with very minimal effort to be hugely flexible, and other people are born naturally strong like me. I've been working for every inch of flexibility that I've got, so hopefully that makes me that makes me a better teacher, because it allows me to understand the limitations of when you're starting out and when it's really challenging. So that is the first myth buster. You do not need to arrive flexible. It's something that you cultivate in a way that works for you and your body and your mind and your goals. Number two is I'm not woo-woo, so I can't do yoga. It's got loads of omming in it, therefore I feel alienated. So you don't need to be practicing chanting. You don't need to be diving into all the different practices of yoga. What's important is that you respect that yoga is a practice of life. It's a holistic practice. It's a mindset. It's an attitude. It's being kind to yourself. It's having a set of principles. So asana, the physical practice of stretching, or karuna, which is the original Sanskrit word for movement, is one limb of 8 limbs of yoga. So there are 8 limbs of yoga. Now I can do 8. And there are the yamas, the niyamas, which are the personal and social disciplines or principles by which we live, of non-violence and truthfulness, kindness, loving kindness and compassion, of sacredness, of, so these are the principles. They're the first 2. Then you have breath control, pranayama, and then asana, which is your physical practice. And then you've got awareness, control of the senses, the ability to stay calm when the world is losing its shit, which is particularly useful for the last 18 months, and particularly challenging because there are parameters within that. Like when the world is shifting around, it's natural to feel like we're in a little bit of quicksand and we need to find our feet. That's a completely human experience. It shouldn't be criticised from within. It's just tuning up. Yes, and then we're leading to single point focus, meditation, and eventually samadhi, this blissful state. So if you are not woo-woo, you can see it as a set of principles. It's much like mindfulness is to Buddhism. So mindfulness and Buddhism share principles. It's just that they are practiced in a slightly different way, and one is more open to secular thinking, and the other is more of a spiritual practice. And so really you can meet it where you want to meet yourself. And so if you are a deeply spiritual human and you absolutely love immersing yourself in the spiritual side of yoga, keep doing that. That's wonderful. If you are not, no one's going to force you. It's really meeting yourself where you're at and going where matches your soul calling, what feels good in your heart. Okay, so myth number 3 is having no time. I don't have any time, therefore I can't do yoga practice. Whoosh. See, this is something that we do when we're in a martyr state of mind, when we're in I must sacrifice myself in order to be fulfilling all my duties. This is not going to be ultimately any good for you or anyone actually that you care about, because you'll end up burning out, and that's part of what this course is about. So if you take that sort of martyrist mentality to yourself, then you end up modelling behaviour that actually leads to an unhealthy lifestyle and will probably end up shortening your life, or leading to some health difficulties. So if you think about it this way, everyone has the same 24 hours in the day. Everyone has the same 7 days in the week, but some people use it differently. And yes, you may have huge amounts of people relying on you, or responsibilities that you want to live up to, but you get to choose what you spend your time doing. Ultimately, you are the curator of your life. And when we take control of how we utilize our time and where we focus our attention, that is one of the most liberating things that we can do in our entire lives. The reason is that we can then begin to truly curate this beautiful painting, this beautiful picture, and put energy into the things that are going to fill up your cup, that are going to fill up your heart, that are going to get you into an inspired state of mind for the day, or getting you feel empowered for the day, getting you into your body, and those priorities, what those things are that charge you up, are your choice too. Let no one say that you must get up in the morning and go to the gym at 5 a.m. If that makes you feel good in your body and in your day and in your relationships and in yourself, great, do it. But if you want to spend time with your children, or you want to get a pad and a pen out and do creative writing as your first thing, then do that, So it's an illusion that we have no time, because ultimately we all have the same time. Plus, you can do little practices. There are 5-minute practices, there are 10-minute practices, just little and often. One really amazing way to create a new habit is to just agree to yourself to tack it on to an existing habit. It's called habit stacking. We'll go into it more in the course. And commit to do it for 1 minute only, because who hasn't got a minute, right? So regardless of what that is, whether it's meditating or going for a run or whatever, then doing it for 1 minute, everyone's got a minute. And then if you enjoy it, then it feeds itself. It's a self-perpetuating spiral of joy, that then you can do it for 5 minutes and 10 minutes, and then you can build up. And amazingly, when you spend time recovering from burnout, when you spend time on rest and restoring, on rejuvenating your energy in a really healthy way, you'll find you have more time. You'll find that actually you have more energy because you're more efficient as a human. Your brain is functioning well. You are, really creative and on the ball. You get things done in less time, which means you can get more done and have more free time. Yay! Okay, so number 4, life's too hectic. A little bit related to number 3. So it's about can't calm the mind. One of the big barriers that I've heard from people is, I don't think I can do meditation because my mind is too loud. That is natural. Don't feel that that's a barrier, because when you first practice, it's about finding the right practices, the right styles of practice that work with where you're at right now. When I started meditating, my mind was really shouty. It was like, what are you doing here? You're trying to be a yogi? How hilarious. You're way too Larry. You're way too jokey. You're trying to pretend to be a yogi. All this stuff the mind is telling you. Blah, 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 blah. What, you're getting on the mat? What, do you think you're so pure? All of that stuff. And then when you need to find practice that works for you. I found partner yoga. I found acro yoga. I found positive visualization really, really helpful. So the particular styles of practice, I'm a really social person, so I was helping other people. That brought me loads of joy, and so that would enable me to deepen my own practice and spend more time on the mat. And then through doing that, then my personal practice deepened as well, because I stopped feeling like a fraud, and I absolutely loved it. And I was, they fed into each other. And with visualization, positive visualization, my brain had something to focus on. People also find mantra meditation super helpful for a chattery mind, because it gives you something that your brain can focus on. And then when you get used to this practice of sitting, and your body is, and the way that you're thinking is becoming calmer, then you can go into the other types of Zen meditation and sitting there in silence and not having a focus of the mind. But initially, if your mind is loud, then giving it some focus is really helpful. And just little drip, 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 little and often, taking time, focusing on the breath. Going back to the breath is always wonderful. Body scans are wonderful. That's one of my bonuses, by the way, in the course, is a body scan meditation. And there are others coming, affirmations, lots of amazing things. So next one. So myth number 5 is, I have not got the right body type for yoga. I'm not one of those skinny waifs. And therefore I can't possibly practice yoga. So I am a size 14, 5'9.5". I'm strong. I've always been strong. And I've always, societal messaging saying that you should be smaller and all that kind of stuff. It's rubbish. Whatever body type you are, you can practice, and you practice to cultivate self-love of your physique, of your body, of the way you are, as you are, right? Yoga ultimately is about exploring a path to samadhi, to happiness, to joy, to contentment, in everyday living, in moment to moment, to being in the moment, to not be distracted by these comparative thoughts of I should be something else, or I should be better, or they're better. It's clearing all that out the way. And so it's not, don't worry what body type you are. You can be any body type. You can be voluptuous, you can be tall, you can be muscular, you can be slender, you can be slim. And actually it just means that you're going to be tweaking the nuance of your practice according to what is beneficial for your body type. So if you are super strong like me and are working for the flexibility that you get, then we're going to be looking at playing with that boundary, because ultimately strength and flexibility do a little dance together. So if you're uber flexible, you might find you have to work on your strength poses. And if you're very strong, then you'll err on the side of working on those flexibility poses. But ultimately, you want to be somewhere in this middle range. You know, you want to be using them to complement one another and not overdosing on the leg wrapping around the head analogy, you know. Yes, that can actually be really unhealthy for the joints, especially if you're hypermobile. You want to be working on strengthening the muscles surrounding. So number 6 is, this depiction, this media depiction of that you need to be. I mean, I happen to be blonde and I happen to be white and I happen to be living in the West. So I possibly am not standing in the most empowered state when I address this. But really, you can be any background, and historically, yoga in India was practiced by men exclusively. So it's open to anyone on the sliding scale of gender, anyone who is at any age. And really, you can begin to do your best to ignore the media messaging of what you should be. This is a very capitalist society that we live in. And so, we live in a world that profits from our insecurities. And so the biggest act of rebellion that we can have is to love ourselves as we are and to stand up proudly as that and represent. So come and represent. If there is underrepresentation, come and represent in the sessions so that you can, be a part of the community. I'd absolutely love to welcome you. And number 7 is just the physical asana. I touched on this before with the woo-woo, that you don't have to be woo-woo, that you can meet where you are at. But really, yoga is not just asana. Yoga is philosophy. It is attitude. It is the way that you speak to yourself, your self-talk. It is the ability to be calm and peaceful, the ability to let the world wash over you a little bit and not get attached to all the little tangents that we can run down. To choose to focus our attention. Attention is essentially the biggest economy of our age, because we are living in this information age where we are prone to overload through overstimulus. And so using the power of your choice to choose where you focus your attention is the single most potent thing you can do in the world today. And so I absolutely am privileged that you're here. Hey Becca, lovely to see you. Hey Bev. I'm privileged that you've chosen to spend a few minutes of your time with me now. And if you would like to know more, then I dive deep into this, into the 5 steps of recovering from burnout in my course. And the course is starting and welcoming people on board. It's closing the doors tonight. And so if you're interested in getting involved, please do PM me. And there's a whole bunch of bonuses from affirmations and meditations and yoga classes to help you master your mindset, to help you master yoga foundations so that you feel on the right level to join, to do the 5 steps of bouncing back from burnout mindfully. Okay, so it is the Burnout Recovery Yoga System, and please do PM me if you're interested in that, and I will put the link in the comments below so that you can click on that and have a read and watch the vid and see if it's up your street. And loads and loads of love to you. Namaste and have a beautiful day. Bye. Have you got any questions before I go? Any questions? Do type them in the comments. Okay. Well, if you haven't, then I've covered those seven myths, top myths to objections or obstacles to practicing. So I hope that that's helped bust some of those myths for you and help make you feel that it's more accessible. So it starts tomorrow. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be onboarding everybody, making sure everyone feels that you know your way around, you know what it is, and you know what to expect. And then we're going to be doing the first module next week. So it's starting right now. So get on it, Becca. Come and get involved. I would love to welcome you. That would be an absolute joy. So yeah, thanks for asking. Any other questions? And I'm hoping that because I was supposed to have the AirPods, I haven't got the battery plugged into my phone, so I'm hoping it's going to survive the ride. And it has so far, yes. All right, lovely. Thanks so much and loads of love. And I'll speak to you soon. Don't forget to click the link. Bye. Lots of love.